Welcome back to the PMP Certification Prep Training course. Project Risk Management Knowledge Area. Risk management is the foundation for evaluating and prioritizing risks. Risk is any uncertain event or condition that, if realized, can impact project objectives, either positively or negatively. It is defined by its probability of occurrence, the impact it will have on scope, schedule, cost, or quality, and a response strategy designed to address it. A trigger condition acts as an early warning signal, indicating that a risk is imminent and requiring immediate attention. Effective risk management involves proactively identifying, analyzing, and planning for these uncertainties to minimize threats and maximize opportunities. By understanding these core components, likelihood, impact, and response, project teams can transform uncertainty from a source of vulnerability into a structured element of strategic planning, ensuring resilience and enhancing the potential for project success. The governance framework integrating project management, risk mitigation, and supply chain resilience to align strategic objectives with operational execution. Structured inputs like enterprise environments, construction assets, and control plans standardize processes, while repetitive emphasis on supply risk management plans underscores the criticality of preempting disruptions through data-driven oversight, compliance protocols, and adaptive resource allocation. Quantitative policies enforce granular metrics and iterative recalibration of supply analytics, while qualitative assessments prioritize market positioning and organizational agility, ensuring decisions balance innovation with risk containment. By merging forward-looking risk registers with tactical safeguards, such as contingency planning, stakeholder alignment, and real-time monitoring, the framework transforms uncertainty into actionable intelligence. It hardens projects against volatility through transparent workflows, cross-functional coordination, and end-to-end visibility, ensuring resilience across financial, operational, and reputational dimensions. This dual focus on governance and adaptability enables organizations to navigate complexity while maintaining compliance, stakeholder trust, and strategic momentum. The slide delineates a cyclical risk management lifecycle, beginning with strategic planning and risk identification, then advancing through qualitative and quantitative analysis to prioritize threats by impact and probability. It transitions to response formulation, avoidance, mitigation, transfer, or acceptance, followed by execution and continuous monitoring, ensuring alignment with evolving project dynamics. Editable components emphasize adaptability, allowing organizations to tailor frameworks to specific operational contexts, regulatory demands, or stakeholder thresholds while maintaining rigor. Visualized through flowcharts or phase gate diagrams, the process highlights interdependencies between planning, analysis, and control, with color-coded risk matrices or heat maps categorizing severity. Editable fields enable real-time updates to risk registers, response strategies, and KPI dashboards, embedding flexibility into governance structures. This modular design ensures scalability across projects, transforming theoretical models into actionable, living systems that preempt disruption and sustain strategic agility. Risk management demands balancing potential rewards against multifaceted exposures, credit, market share, and liquidity risks threaten financial health, while operational costs, transactional volatility, and funding constraints erode margins. Strategic response planning converts threats into growth opportunities, leveraging rigorous monitoring to curb expected losses and align risk appetite with objectives like higher profitability or market expansion. By quantifying impacts and embedding compliance safeguards, organizations fortify resilience, ensuring self-governance frameworks adapt to emerging risks without stifling innovation. Qualitative and quantitative analyses dissect uncertainties, from compliance gaps to hidden operational liabilities, prioritizing actions that safeguard liquidity and stakeholder trust. Proactive identification and real-time tracking of evolving risks, financial, regulatory, or market-driven, enable agile recalibration of strategies, transforming raw data into preemptive defenses. This dual focus on mitigation and opportunity capture sustains financial stability while positioning firms to capitalize on volatility as a catalyst for disciplined growth. Positive risks demand proactive identification and exploitation through strategic initiatives like innovation incentives or market expansion, turning uncertainty into competitive advantage. Negative risks require containment via preemptive controls, contingency reserves, contract clauses, or process hardening to minimize operational or financial exposure. Risk levels dictate prioritization, while residual risk thresholds ensure acceptable post-mitigation outcomes, balancing agility with stability through tailored responses like acceptance, transfer, or avoidance. The framework categorizes risk components into a dynamic matrix, visualized through heat maps or tiered dashboards that align probability, impact, and response efficacy. Bold headers like risk equals uncertainty matters reinforce risk's intrinsic link to organizational objectives, driving culture shifts from reactive firefighting to anticipatory governance. Icons or flowcharts map escalation paths, ensuring transparency in ownership and action timelines across threat and opportunity landscapes. The risk management process begins by establishing context, aligning external factors, objectives, and risk appetite to define governance boundaries and stakeholder priorities. Communication and consultation anchor every phase, ensuring transparency as risks are identified through trigger analysis, consequence mapping, and source tracing. Rigorous assessment evaluates risks against tolerance thresholds, determining acceptability, while analysis quantifies their magnitude, transforming ambiguity into actionable tiers for prioritization. This structured approach embeds accountability, ensuring decisions reflect organizational strategy and resource realities. Risk treatment deploys targeted actions, acceptance, mitigation, transfer, or avoidance to neutralize threats or exploit opportunities, balancing cost and impact. Continuous monitoring and iterative reviews adapt strategies to evolving threats, regulatory shifts, or market dynamics, hardening resilience. By integrating real-time feedback loops and recalibrating risk appetite, the process sustains agility, turning theoretical frameworks into living systems that protect value and drive informed, proactive decision-making. Managing procurement risks requires selecting the right strategy for each threat. Common approaches include avoiding risks by eliminating their causes, transferring risks to third parties through contracts or insurance, mitigating risks by reducing their probability or impact, and accepting risks by embedding them into project baselines with contingency plans. Each option demands a clear-eyed evaluation of risk severity, impact, and control feasibility. Opportunities mirror this structure, encouraging proactive actions like exploiting advantages, sharing benefits, enhancing positive outcomes, or simply accepting favorable conditions. Effective risk and opportunity management ensures that procurement efforts are not only shielded from harm but also positioned to capitalize on emerging benefits, reinforcing resilience and strategic agility. To effectively manage risks, it's essential to categorize them systematically. Risk categories group similar types of risks together to simplify analysis and response planning. Common categories include financial, operational, strategic, and sometimes regulatory or environmental risks. For each risk, we assess its likelihood and potential impact, helping us prioritize focus areas. As shown in the table, different business activities, like developing new products or leveraging technology, carry varying risk levels across these categories. Color coding provides an immediate visual cue. Green signals low risk, yellow indicates medium, and red highlights very high risks that demand urgent action. For instance, leveraging technology shows a very high strategic risk, suggesting a critical need for mitigation or contingency plans. This structured approach ensures that all potential threats are identified, assessed, and managed according to their severity and relevance to the organization's objectives. Political, reputational, and strategic risks threaten market share and public trust, with disruptive technologies and shifting regulations exposing organizations to equity erosion or legal penalties. Compliance gaps, stakeholder dissatisfaction, and policy misalignment amplify vulnerabilities, while governance failures or privacy breaches destabilize long-term positioning, demanding agile frameworks to preempt crises and safeguard competitive advantage. Operational, financial, and human capital risks, from service delivery breakdowns to talent attrition, undermine productivity and financial stability. Health and safety lapses, cybersecurity threats, and knowledge silos compound exposure, requiring robust controls to secure data, streamline processes, and align workforce strategies with customer expectations. Proactive mitigation of these interconnected threats fortifies resilience, balancing innovation with risk-aware execution. The risk management lifecycle mandates proactive identification, rigorous assessment, and decisive control mechanisms to neutralize threats while capitalizing on strategic opportunities. Solutions emerge through integrated security protocols and adaptive planning, aligning mitigation tactics, such as threat containment, resource allocation, and compliance enforcement, with organizational objectives. This structured yet agile approach transforms vulnerabilities into fortified frameworks, ensuring risks are not merely avoided but strategically managed to sustain operational continuity and stakeholder confidence. By embedding real-time monitoring and governance into planning phases, organizations preempt disruptions, balancing cost efficiency with robust security postures. Dynamic risk solutions prioritize scalability, enabling rapid response to evolving threats without sacrificing growth ambitions. The result is a resilient ecosystem where controlled risk-taking drives innovation, safeguards assets, and amplifies competitive advantage in volatile markets. The Risk Management Foundation is built by integrating critical inputs, project charters, comprehensive management plans, stakeholder registers, and organizational assets, with environmental factors shaping operational realities. Expert judgment and stakeholder-driven data analysis dissect these inputs, while structured meetings align cross-functional insights, ensuring risks are contextualized within strategic objectives and resource constraints. This fusion of documentation, expertise, and collaboration crystallizes priorities, embedding risk awareness into every phase of project execution. Outputs materialize as a robust risk management plan, synthesizing analytical rigor with governance frameworks to preempt threats and exploit opportunities. By aligning mitigation tactics with stakeholder expectations and organizational agility, the plan transforms theoretical models into actionable protocols, driving proactive decision-making. Continuous feedback loops and adaptive controls ensure resilience, turning uncertainty into a navigable landscape for sustained project success. The risk management framework codifies strategy through defined roles, methodologies, and resource allocation, anchoring decisions to stakeholder risk appetite and organizational priorities. Probability impact matrices, standardized reporting, and tracking systems translate abstract risks into actionable tiers, while clear definitions of thresholds and categories eliminate ambiguity. This governance structure ensures risks are systematically prioritized, funded, and addressed within strategic timelines, balancing agility with rigorous oversight to prevent mission drift. Collaborative techniques, brainstorming, Delphi surveys, and SWOT analysis harness cross-functional expertise to uncover blind spots and root causes, while scenario planning stress tests responses against volatility. These tools convert qualitative insights into quantifiable strategies, embedding iterative refinement into risk identification and mitigation. The synergy of structured governance and dynamic techniques hardens resilience, turning uncertainty into a catalyst for disciplined innovation and stakeholder confidence. Deliverables define the tangible outcomes driving project success, crystallizing stakeholder expectations into measurable, time-bound milestones aligned with strategic objectives. They demand rigorous scope definition, quality benchmarks, and acceptance criteria to ensure outputs meet functional, regulatory, and contractual obligations, while dependencies and resource allocations are mapped to prevent bottlenecks. Clear deliverables anchor accountability, transforming abstract goals into actionable targets that validate progress and justify investments. Techniques encompass methodologies, tools, and processes, agile sprints, risk matrices, or data analytics that convert strategy into execution. They prioritize efficiency, precision, and adaptability, leveraging cross-functional collaboration, automation, or iterative feedback loops to navigate complexity. By aligning techniques with deliverables, organizations eliminate ambiguity, optimize workflows, and preempt deviations, ensuring outcomes are achieved on time, within scope, and under budget. This synergy between action and result hardens projects against volatility while maximizing ROI. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to excellence and your dedication to mastering the profession. We wish you resounding success on your path to certification.